What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to the 1010 Studios Audio Pros show, where our motto is no feedback, just input. My name is Terrence. I'm your humble host here. You'll see me looking down from periodically, just kind of because I have to look at the computer, one man show kind of deal. Able to do this live, not recorded, but doing it live basically. Producing this all at one time is kind of new, but it's been a work in progress. So definitely thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and let us know what you want us to discuss in the near future. We'll take those comments and suggestions, requests, and anything we can and work with it as best we can. Of course, this is going to be meant, well, not of course, but just to kind of let you know, this is going to be meant for audio professionals who are currently either very experienced in general, to brand new folks getting into it, learning about it, things like that. I've seen a number of different folks out here doing videos that's helping other professionals in the audio profession area. And I said, you know what, let me jump in and put my hat inside the ring in regards to sharing information, number one, getting information and making sure it's, I guess it works for me at least, and then sharing that as well. So I've learned a number of things from a number of different folks, and shout out to anybody who's helped me in the past in learning and growing in the audio professional area. There's a number of folks I can name. You know who you are here locally and not so local, friends, family, co-workers, anybody that I've come across that's given me, encouragement and any kind of help. I thank you publicly. Hopefully I've told you that, individually, face to face, on the phone, by text. If not, I'll reach out to you soon just to make sure we touch base. So, having said all of that, definitely, like I said, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. And also share with folks and friends or people in the same industry that might be, able to learn something from what we're going to talk about. So today, our main thing we're going to talk about is, I have to look at my notes here. What does an audio pro or professional do? Now, that question is wide open, but we're just going to talk on, I touched the mic. We're just going to talk on a few different things here, about 4 different things that are, I guess, the primary, kind of points. And then later on in other episodes, we'll go into it a little bit more on what these things mean. So, what does an audio professional do? First thing they do is they learn about sound. I mean, that's first. You got to learn about sound. If you don't know anything about sound, eventually you're going to learn either the hard way or the not so hard way. Purposely research, you purposely listen for different things and tune and train your ears so when you hear something, you can identify it a lot quicker. It's almost like, I wouldn't say it's exactly the same, but it's like a cook. A cook has to learn about food, spices, food preparation, and all types of things to make sure that when they provide a service of cooking, they know what they should be producing. They know what it should taste like. They know what it should smell like. Same thing with sound. We know what it should sound like coming in. We know what it should sound like going out. All of those things are going to be extremely important. Let's see. Also, second thing that I have listed here is works with various equipment and software. Now, that in itself is self-explanatory. There's not just one soundboard for all particular things. So, as an example here, I'll show you a couple examples and let me know if you think this is kind of crazy. So, for some folks like myself, this right here is the X18 made by Behringer. That's one particular mixer, right? So that's one particular quote-unquote soundboard that can be used on a day-to-day basis in basic audio setups or some pretty professional setups. And then there's other things that can be used as well. And just to give you an example, the big brother to that is this one. It's the X32. Now they basically provide the same exact type of functions. They take audio inputs, be it line or mic line inputs. They convert it from analog to digital and spit it right back out through the speakers using the same basic software and features. But they're two totally different form factors, but they can be used in different ways. So it's important. Software as well inside that, software on your computer, software on your phone, anything like that. What else here? Let's see. Live sound versus studio sound. So as an audio professional, there's a number of different ways to provide your kind of service, right? So you have live sound and you have your studio sound or in more controlled environment. They're two totally different things. When you're in a live sound environment, you have every room has their own sound characteristics. So therefore, you're able to get a certain feel if you tune or EQ your mics and your instruments a certain way. But if you take that same setup and that same configuration and you go to another venue, totally different room, totally different area, totally different temperature, believe it or not, temperature has an effect on sound as well, then it's going to sound totally different. Same speakers, same instruments, same musicians, same, configuration, it can sound totally different. In the studio environment, it's pretty much once you tune it to the room, the mics, the instruments, the people, whatever, you can treat it a little bit more to get the sound you want, but for the most part, it's much more controlled. Big difference. So these are things we have to learn about and be able to adjust to when necessary. Let's see, and the last one is pretty much the light and heavy lifting, and that's meaning of equipment. So in a studio kind of setup, if you're building a studio or maintaining a studio and operate and function in a studio, yeah, you move things around, different mic stands and maybe some instruments, table or two, chairs, and things that can kind of, be tailored to the event or the recording you're going to be doing. Adding more chairs if you have to get some chairs there, and moving different equipment on casters or cases, whatever. Moving a piano if you have a physical grand piano or any kind of piano for that matter, any kind of setup. And then you have the heavy lifting, which is more so if you're setting up and tearing down for live events. So you have a live event for a band or whatever kind of event where you need to bring speakers, and I'll show you some examples here. So you got speakers like this here. You have your top speakers, which are going to be for your voices, typically in a good amount of your instruments. And then you have these subwoofers that are typically got a little more weight to them. They just carry the bass, things of that nature. And you're able to, make things kind of boom and bounce. They got some weight to them. Now, also, there's a few more things that you would have to carry in if you're basically a, full-fledged band. You have the drums, you have any keyboards, maybe some lighting setups. You got, and what weighs quite a bit is power cables. Okay, power cables, audio cables, all those little small things that make things connect. That has weight to it as well, and also some tools, batteries, whatever it might be. All stuff carries some weight. Mic stands, things like that. So that can be some heavy lifting depending upon what kind of a setup you have. So these are just some of the things that audio professionals do or have to keep in mind. And if there's anything else that you think that are some of the basics, I only listed 4 things, and that's it. But when it comes down to it, you have to mix right, be able to record, things like that as well. And what else do you think is the most important things of what an audio professional has to do? Outside the learning and the application of the sound, for the event in question, setting things up, light and heavy lifting, getting to work with different pieces of equipment and software to make sure things sound and are produced as you need to be, or what's been requested rather. So what else you think is important? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And also, if you want, you can send us an email at info@1010studios.net. And definitely share this with anyone who you think that might benefit from having this kind of conversation, because one thing I need to get better on is just basically learning frequencies by sound, by hearing it. Not looking at it, but hearing it. So if I'm out in the audience somewhere, I'm able to hear a frequency and say, okay, fine, that sounds like it's about this range. Let me go ahead and take a look, and okay, fine, let's work with that, and notch it out or build it up a little bit, whatever might be needed, and just kind of tuning a room to the liking of the event in question. And it's all subjective, but at the same time, it's very important. You want to make it sound as best as it can. Those are a lot of things that a audio professional will do in a live environment. Same thing within a studio, working with headphones quite a bit, learning, and also loudspeakers as well, depending upon their setup for stereo sound. That makes all the difference. Let us know what you think in regards to what is important to any sound professional, what's needed, what can we get better at. I'd be interested to hear what you got to say, and also interested to learn more and more each and every day. So until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you subscribe.